I don't walk away from things I think are unfinished. Now I've gone for too long living like I'm not alive, so I'm going to start over tonight beginning with you and I. Everyone makes mistake. Type of mistake gives the perspective of seriousness. If it's going to be a world with no time for sentiment, it's not a world that I want to live in. Two wrongs don't make a right, but they make a good excuse. How much you can learn when you fail determines how far you will go into achieving your goals. A man must wage war on himself to defeat his weaknesses and conquer his strengths. Small shifts in your thinking and small changes in your energy can lead to massive alterations of your end result. There is only one kind of shock worse than the totally unexpected, the expected for which one has refused to prepare. Employ your time in improving yourself by other men's writings, so that you shall come easily by what others have labored hard for. Evolution is a revolution without R, and R is a renewal of the mind. Know what you want, work to get it, then value it once you have it. Focus on making yourself better, not on thinking that you are better. I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuse. Receive with simplicity everything that happens to you. Sometimes, we are so attached to our way of life that we turn down wonderful opportunities simply because we don't know what to do with it. I may not always be with you, but when we're far apart, remember you will be with me right inside my heart. She will always wear her crown, regardless of the hate. Once you had put the pieces back together, even though you may look intact, you were never quite the same as you'd been before the fall. Autobiography begins with a sense of being alone. It is an orphan form. Action springs not from thought, but from a readiness for responsibility. The Christian religion is a very powerful and convincing mistake. It is the time you have wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important. Every decent con man knows that the simplest truth is more powerful than even the most elaborate lie. Actions defined a man. Words were a fart in the wind. If what you seek is truth, there is one thing you must have above all else. Wit seduces by signaling intelligence without nerdiness. If there was anything that depressed him more than his own cynicism, it was that quite often it still wasn't as cynical as real life. Whoever said money can't buy happiness didn't know where to go shopping. Distance sometimes lets you know who is worth keeping and who is worth letting go. Nobody is wired wrong because there's no wrong and right in the way we are. Desperation is the raw material of drastic change. Only those who can leave behind everything they have ever believed and can hope to escape. We're never called on to do what hurts. We just do what hurts out of ignorance and habit. Once we see what we're doing, we can stop. Time has always been the greatest ally to truth, because time eventually relieves and reveals all. Thoughts become things. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand. You can't always be right, but you can be wrong a lot less. Sometimes what seems like a destination is actually a bridge to a new chapter. I never said it would be easy, I only said it would be worth it. Become braver, stronger, wiser, kinder, and you will become better. When friendship is settled, you must trust. Before friendship is formed, you must pass judgment. A creative life cannot be sustained by approval any more than it can be destroyed by criticism. You're not to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who does it or says it. We have no right to just stand by and watch them tarnish our tomorrow. May the fleas of 1,000 camels invade the crotch of the person that ruins your day, and may their arms be too short to scratch. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces that you meet. For any sin, we all suffer. That is why our suffering is endless. All the world's a stage and most of us are desperately unrehearsed. My feet are shaking, but I'll do whatever it takes to take a step forward. We all take a different path to the same place. Why we took the path we did will always be a mystery. The things that pose the greatest threats to your survival are the most real things. Everyone's time is limited. What matters most is to focus on what matters most. It's a strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite. We have nothing to die for. We have everything to live for. I was a veritable Johnny Appleseed of grand expectations, and all I reaped for my trouble was a harvest of bitter fruit. You are forgiven for your happiness and your successes only if you generously consent to share them. I admire those who do good and expect nothing in return. No new horror can be more terrible than the daily torture of the commonplace. What we can change is our perceptions, which have the effect of changing everything. You look up when you wish to be exalted, and I look down because I am exalted. A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality. There is a wisdom of the head, and there is a wisdom of the heart. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. People always say life is too short for regrets, but the truth is, it's too long. Sometimes bad things have to happen before good things can. Man's naked form belongs to no particular moment in history. It is eternal and can be looked upon with joy by the people of all ages. Grace doesn't depend on suffering to exist, but where there is suffering you will find grace in many facets and colors. What helps you persevere is your resilience and commitment. If you cannot find an element of humor in something, you're not taking it seriously enough. Guard well your thoughts when alone and your words when accompanied. A constitution that is made for all nations is made for none. Forbearance in the face of fate, beauty constant under torture, are not merely passive. They're a positive achievement, an explicit triumph. An empowered life begins with serious personal questions about oneself. Those answers bear the seeds of success. Victories that come cheap are cheap. Those only which are worth having come as the result of hard fighting. Each affects the other, and the other affects the next, and the world is full of stories, but the stories are all one. Every challenge, every adversity, contains within it the seeds of opportunity and growth. We have been called to heal wounds, to unite what has fallen apart, and to bring home those who have lost their way. But merely being tradition does not make something worthy, Kadash. We can't just assume that because something is old it is right. People are not lazy. They simply have impotent goals, that is, goals that do not inspire them. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Institutionalized rejection of difference is an absolute necessity in a profit economy which needs outsiders as surplus people. All you have to do is write one true sentence. Write the truest sentence that you know. Root for others to win, and you will remain blessed. There is always room for more people to elevate. It would be so nice if something made sense for a change. What others think about you is none of your business. I wanted to figure out why I was so busy, but I couldn't find the time to do it. Being faithful in the smallest things is the way to gain, maintain, and demonstrate the strength needed to accomplish something great. Very occasionally, if you pay really close attention, life doesn't suck. Never stop dreaming, never stop believing, never give up, never stop trying, and never stop learning. Life is about accepting the challenges along the way, choosing to keep moving forward, and savoring the journey. A life of sacrifice is the pinnacle of art and is full of true joy. Every block of work has patience inside it, and it is the task of skills to discover it. Every person must choose how much truth he can stand. Success is doing what you want to do, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, as much as you want. There is no such thing as a great talent without great willpower. Truth is neither in the scripture nor in the words of prophets. It is in your heart. Feel it, discover it, and expand with it. Be bold. Don't be shy to say no to the future you don't like. From whichever side I start, I think I am in an old place where others have been before me. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what this storm's all about. Except our own thoughts, there is nothing absolutely in our power. The Bible has noble poetry in it, and some good morals and a wealth of obscenity and upwards of 1,000 lies. My experiences have taught me that things rarely improve with a simple change of scenery.